Have you ever wondered why certain patterns in your life keep repeating, or why emotions like anger, fear, or sadness seem so hard to let go of? What if there was a way to observe these experiences, not with judgment, but with clarity and insight, so they no longer control you? Welcome to the School of Buddha, where today we'll explore Vipassana meditation, one of the most profound practices taught by the Buddha. Vipassana, meaning insight or clear seeing, is a method of understanding the true nature of reality by observing the mind and body with mindfulness and equanimity. Unlike other forms of meditation focused on relaxation or concentration, Vipassana delves deeper, uncovering the impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self aspects of existence. In this episode, we'll dive into the origins of Vipassana, its purpose, and its transformative power. You'll also learn a step-by-step guide to starting your own Vipassana practice and discover how it can bring wisdom, freedom, and peace into your life. Let's take a closer look at this ancient meditation technique and why it remains as relevant today as it was over 2,500 years ago. The word Vipassana comes from the Pali language, translating to insight or clear seeing. It refers to a type of meditation that helps us observe reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Buddha taught Vipassana as a path to liberation, a way to see through the illusions that bind us to suffering. Vipassana is often called insight meditation because it helps practitioners gain a direct understanding of three universal truths. 1. Impermanence, or anicca, which means everything in life is constantly changing. 2. Unsatisfactoriness, or dukkha, which means clinging to impermanent things leads to suffering. 3. Non-self, or anatta, which means there is no fixed, unchanging self. What we think of as I is a collection of ever-changing processes. By meditating on these truths, we develop wisdom and learn to let go of attachments that cause pain and dissatisfaction. Vipassana is rooted in the Buddha's teachings as outlined in the Satipatthana Sutta, or the Discourse on the Foundations of Mindfulness. This foundational text describes how mindfulness applied to the body, feelings, mind, and mental objects leads to insight. Unlike other forms of meditation that focus solely on concentration, Vipassana combines mindfulness with investigation. It's not just about calming the mind, but also about observing it with precision. For example, when a thought arises, instead of identifying with it, we notice, this is a thought. When a sensation arises, we observe, this is a sensation, without clinging to pleasant feelings or resisting unpleasant ones. This practice helps us see that everything we experience is transient, arising and passing away. Over time, this insight weakens the grip of craving and aversion, leading to inner freedom. The goal of Vipassana is liberation from suffering, but its benefits are also deeply practical. 1. Understanding the mind. It helps us observe patterns of thought and emotion, breaking free from habitual reactions. 2. Emotional balance. By observing emotions without judgment, we become less reactive and more at peace. 3. Clarity and insight. Vipassana sharpens our ability to see reality clearly, improving decision-making and self-awareness. 4. Letting go of attachments. It teaches us to release clinging to things that are impermanent, reducing stress and dissatisfaction. The practice of Vipassana offers more than just moments of calm. It provides a transformative way to understand the mind, emotions, and the nature of existence. As we observe our thoughts and sensations without attachment, Vipassana creates space for growth, freedom, and a deeper sense of connection. Let's explore some of the profound benefits that come from this practice. 1. Freedom from reactivity. In life, we often react impulsively to situations. A harsh word might trigger anger, or a difficult circumstance might bring fear or despair. These reactions are often automatic, driven by habitual patterns of the mind. Through Vipassana, we cultivate the ability to pause and observe these reactions as they arise. This practice creates a gap between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our actions consciously. Over time, this freedom from reactivity fosters emotional balance and greater peace. 2. Greater self-awareness. Vipassana is like holding a mirror to the mind. As we sit in meditation, we observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations with clarity. This awareness reveals patterns that influence our behavior, some helpful, others not. By recognizing these patterns, we gain the power to change, leading to personal transformation and self-mastery. 3. Deeper understanding of impermanence. Everything we experience, Our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations is transient. In Vipassana, we observe this impermanence directly. By noticing how sensations arise and pass away, we develop a deeper understanding of the fleeting nature of life. This insight helps us let go of clinging and approach each moment with acceptance. 4. Cultivating compassion and empathy. As we deepen our understanding of our own struggles, we begin to see that others face similar challenges. This shared humanity fosters compassion and empathy, allowing us to connect with others on a deeper level. Vipassana not only transforms our relationship with ourselves, but also enriches our interactions with the world around us. 5. Liberation from suffering. The ultimate goal of Vipassana is to free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. By understanding the nature of craving and aversion, and by observing the mind with equanimity, we release the attachments that bind us. This liberation leads to a profound sense of peace and freedom. Starting a Vipassana practice may seem daunting, but it's a journey that begins with small steps. At its heart, Vipassana is about observing your experience as it unfolds, moment by moment. It's a process of learning to see reality clearly, without judgment or resistance. Let's walk through a practical guide to help you begin this transformative practice. Step 1. Find a quiet space. Begin by creating a space where you can meditate without interruptions. This could be a quiet room, a corner of your home, or even a peaceful spot outdoors. Sit in a comfortable position, on a cushion, chair, or however your body feels at ease. The key is to keep your back straight but relaxed, allowing both alertness and comfort. Step 2. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. Don't try to control your breathing. Simply observe it as it naturally flows. The breath serves as an anchor, keeping you connected to the present moment. Step 3. Expand your awareness to the body. As you settle into your breath, begin to notice sensations in your body. This might include warmth, tingling, or pressure. Observe these sensations with curiosity, without labeling them as good or bad. Allow them to be, just as they are. Step 4. Observe thoughts and emotions. When thoughts or emotions arise, instead of engaging with them, observe them as passing phenomena. Silently label them. This is a thought, or this is fear. By doing this, you create space between yourself and your mental activity, reducing its grip on you. Step 5. Investigate the nature of experience. As you observe, reflect on the 3 universal truths. Impermanence. Notice how every sensation, thought, or emotion arises and eventually fades away. Unsatisfactoriness. Recognize how clinging to pleasant experiences or resisting unpleasant ones creates tension and suffering. Non-self. See that thoughts and sensations arise on their own without a fixed self controlling them. Step 6. Practice daily. Consistency is key to developing a deeper Vipassana practice. Start with 10 to 15 minutes a day and gradually increase the duration as you feel more comfortable. Over time, the practice becomes a way of being, helping you carry mindfulness and insight into every aspect of your life. Step 7. Reflect on your experience. At the end of your session, take a moment to reflect. How does your mind feel? What did you notice? This reflection helps you integrate the practice into your daily life, deepening its transformative effects. Stories from the Buddha's life often illustrate the profound wisdom of his teachings, and one of the most significant moments was his path to enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. As the Buddha sat in deep meditation, he practiced Vipassana, observing his thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment or aversion. It was during this time that he gained profound insight into the nature of reality. The Buddha noticed how thoughts and sensations arose and passed away, like waves in an ocean. He realized that clinging to these fleeting experiences, whether pleasant or unpleasant, was the root of suffering. By observing them with equanimity, he uncovered the 3 universal truths. Everything is impermanent. Clinging and aversion lead to dissatisfaction. The self is not fixed, but a collection of ever-changing processes. Through this direct observation, the Buddha achieved liberation, freeing himself from the cycle of suffering. This story reminds us that Vipassana is not about intellectual understanding, but experiential insight. It's a practice of turning inward, observing reality as it is, and letting go of the illusions that bind us. Each time we sit in Vipassana, we follow in the Buddha's footsteps, taking a step closer to clarity, peace, and freedom. Vipassana is more than a meditation technique. It's a way of seeing life with clarity and wisdom. It teaches us to step back from the mind's constant chatter and observe reality with fresh eyes. When we practice Vipassana, we become like a still lake, reflecting the world without distortion. At its core, Vipassana invites us to confront three fundamental truths about existence. 1. Impermanence. Life is in a constant state of change. By embracing this truth, we learn to flow with life's rhythms instead of resisting them. 2. Unsatisfactoriness. No external thing can bring lasting happiness. True peace comes from within by letting go of craving and aversion. 3. Non-self. The self we cling to is not fixed but a dynamic process. Realizing this frees us from the need to defend or inflate our sense of identity. These truths might seem challenging at first, but they are deeply liberating. They remind us that the suffering we experience is not permanent or personal. It's a result of misunderstanding reality. By seeing clearly, we let go of the attachments and illusions that create pain, allowing us to live with greater ease and compassion. Vipassana also offers us a new way to relate to our thoughts and emotions. Instead of being swept away by them, we observe them with curiosity and kindness. We begin to see that we are not our thoughts or feelings. They are simply passing phenomena, like clouds moving across the sky. This shift in perspective brings a profound sense of freedom and inner peace. As we conclude today's episode, take a moment to pause and reflect. What patterns in your life are you ready to observe with clarity? What attachments are you ready to let go of? Vipassana is not about achieving something. It's about seeing what is already here, with honesty and compassion. Remember, each time you practice Vipassana, you are cultivating the wisdom to live with greater freedom and ease. The journey may feel challenging at times, but every moment of mindfulness brings you closer to understanding yourself and the world more deeply. Thank you for joining us in the School of Buddha. If today's episode inspired you, I encourage you to set aside a few minutes each day to practice Vipassana. Start small and trust that with time, this practice will transform not only your meditation but also your life. In our next episode, we'll explore how meditation can help us navigate and transform difficult emotions such as anger. Until then, stay mindful, stay curious, and keep walking the path.